this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 fragrances that I consider to be masterpieces. So I have 7 fragrances that personally I consider to be 10 out of 10s. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing all 7 of them. So if you want to find out what these 7 fragrances are, please don't go anywhere. So welcome back to my channel, guys. Yes, I have 7 fragrances here that I can't wait to share with you guys. But before we jump in, if this is your first time landing on my channel and you like fragrances and you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me a lot. And please don't forget to click that bell icon so you can get notified whenever I drop a new video. I have 6 niche fragrances on my list here and I have 1 designer fragrance. And I can't wait to share with you guys what they are. So jumping in right away, guys, we go to the house of Nichane, and this one is Annie. Yes, Annie is one of my favorite vanilla fragrances ever. And this is more of an oriental kind of vanilla fragrance with a lot of different things going on in here. There's vanilla in here, of course, and there's some spices here. I believe there's also some green notes and a bunch of other notes in here. And personally, I consider Annie here to be a masterpiece because this kind of changed how vanilla fragrances, or how I personally see vanilla fragrances. The vanilla in here plus the ginger and I believe the green notes just makes this one so unique and lovely, guys. I have 2 bottles of this fragrance, and yeah, this is how much of my juice I've worn so far. Annie here is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10. This one is unisex. This one would work in the fall and even in the winter time. And this is one of those fragrances that personally I consider to be a game changer when it comes to vanilla fragrances. And yeah, this one was created by one of my favorite perfumers, Cecile Zorokian, and I'm a huge fan of this one, and that's why it's on my list. Guys, this is Annie by Nichane, a 10 out of 10 masterpiece in my opinion, and we move on to the next one. So the next fragrance I'm going to be sharing is from the house of Mio Fucini, and this is called Little Song. Yes, Little Song here is another 10 out of 10 masterpiece fragrance in my opinion. And when it comes to coffee fragrances, this one right here is my favorite coffee fragrance. And what we have here is not just coffee, guys, because I've smelled a lot of coffee fragrances over the years, and this one is so unique and so lovely in my personal opinion. And what we have here is coffee plus rose. I believe there's tobacco in here. Even maybe there's leather listed in here. I'm not even sure, guys. But yeah, there's so much going on in here. This fragrance has so much depth. And this one is such a lovely fragrance. Definitely not a blind buy worthy fragrance, and it's also not one I reckon would be a great fit for everyone. I mean, with fragrances like this, you have to enjoy darker, more mysterious kind of a scent for you to appreciate this kind of fragrance. And the smell of this fragrance reminds me of just roasted coffee beans when you just pick them up and smell them. That's exactly what I pick up in here. Of course, there's that rose in here, and I like how the rose kind of plays together with the coffee in this fragrance. It's definitely my favorite coffee fragrance. One I think would be great for the fall and the winter time. And yes, guys, the performance on this one is quite big. And personally, I don't think this is a unisex fragrance. I think this one leans more masculine. So I reckon guys that appreciate darker, more mysterious coffee fragrances would appreciate this one. Yes, this one is powdery, it's slightly musky, and then it's a little smoky to my nose here. Little Song by Mio Fucini, I personally consider to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. This is coffee like no other. So guys, that's Little Song, and we move on to the next one. So the next fragrance I'm going to be sharing is from the house of Serge Lutens, and this is none other than Ambre Sultan. Yes, Ambre Sultan is one of my favorite amber fragrances. And yeah, from these fragrances here, you can kind of tell where my taste is at and what kind of fragrances I personally enjoy. It's one of those amber fragrances that just sits perfectly with my taste and how I like my amber fragrances. And when it comes to amber fragrances, I sometimes enjoy the sweeter ones, sometimes I enjoy the spicy ones. But what we have here is both the spicy, the resinous, that balsamic kind of amber is what we have here. And that's just what I enjoy here. And guys, this one is a true amber fragrance. This is what I personally consider an amber fragrance, or what I would consider an amber fragrance to smell like. And yes, this one is full of spices. I believe there's coriander in here. There's some myrrh in here as well. And then there's that amber accord. And now that fall is here, I wore this fragrance recently, and this one just really bloomed in the cold weather. I didn't get any compliments, and I don't think this is one of those fragrances that will garner you lots of compliments, because not everyone would enjoy or like this fragrance. It's really for the people that get it, and I'm one of those people. Yes, the scent profile here is a little mature, so I don't think a lot of the younger guys might enjoy this one. But Ambre Sultan here is a lovely fragrance. One I consider to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and that's why it's on my list, guys. Guys, let me know if you've tried Ambre Sultan by Serge Lutens, and let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. So the next fragrance I'm going to be sharing is the only designer fragrance on my list, and it's none other than Tom Ford's Plum Japonais. And yes, Tom Ford's Plum Japonais is one that's been discontinued, unfortunately. But yeah, this one I consider to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Wow. Wow, I'm saving my juice, and that's the only reason why I'm not gonna spray this one right now. And this one is lovely with that plum, with the saffron, with the cinnamon in here. I mean, it's a warm, spicy, fruity, almost juicy kind of fragrance. Plus, there's oud in here. And this one is such a complex composition, guys. And yes, I say complex, but not complex in a bad way. This fragrance has the right amount of depth. This fragrance has the right amount of class. And this one is a lovely composition. This is one of my favorite fragrances from Tom Ford, and unfortunately it's been discontinued, and this is one fragrance that got me into plum fragrances. I have a few plum fragrances in my collection, and this one is the best of them all. Yeah, Plum Japonais here is a unisex fragrance, and this one lasts really long. I'm not sure what year this one was made, but I know this is one of the first ones that was released when this fragrance was launched. And you don't want to know how much I paid for this one, guys, and that's why it's always going to be in my collection. And Plum Japonais here I consider to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and from what I remember, there's a little bit of a boozy quality with this one as well. So guys, you can kind of see how much is going on in here, and that's why I rate this one really highly. So let me know if you've tried Plum Japonais by Tom Ford, and we move on to the next one. So before we go to the next one, guys, if you're looking to shop fragrances here in Canada or in the States, I have a link in the description below where you can shop some designer fragrances, some niche fragrances, some clone fragrances, and even tester bottles. And guys, you're welcome to use my promo code PFC5 to get 5% off. So the next fragrance I'm going to be sharing is from Amouage, and this one is called King Blue. Yes, King Blue by Amouage is another fragrance that personally I consider to be a masterpiece. And from all the fragrances that I mentioned here, I don't think any of them is necessarily blind buy worthy or blind buy safe fragrance. A lot of these fragrances that I have on this list are fragrances that personally I enjoy and fragrances that I personally consider to be 10 out of 10s. So if you're looking to buy any of these fragrances, I highly recommend you get a sample or try before you buy, because some of these fragrances are not necessarily easy to pull off, especially this one. Yeah, with this fragrance, when I got this one at the time, I didn't like this fragrance, honestly, and I wasn't even sure why anyone wanted to smell like this. But spending time with this fragrance and just giving it a chance has made me realize how much of a gem we have here. Yes, one thing I'm not sure is why this fragrance has the name Blue. I'm not sure the backstory behind this fragrance, but what we have here is a woody, slightly fruity, ambery fragrance with oud, I believe. And the oud here, guys, is not the easiest to pull off. The oud here might throw a lot of people off, and the oud here might scare you away. This one is not a beginner kind of oud fragrance. This is a big boy oud kind of fragrance. With this one, you have to enjoy oud fragrances that go in the more animalic direction. But yeah, with this one, there's a lot going on here. I believe there's some spicy qualities here as well. Plus the leather that's listed as part of the notes with this one. I get that leathery accord here. I also get the oud. It's right there in your face. Plus there's a little bit of fruitiness that's just there and just makes this one a beautiful fragrance. Like I said, guys, this is not for everyone. This one might scare a lot of people away, and but I find this one to be sexy in some kind of weird way. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's such a lovely fragrance in my opinion, and I think this one is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. And you're probably wondering why I consider some of these fragrances 10 out of 10s. So personally, I like fragrances with more depth. I like some fragrances that are quite unique, and I also like fragrances that are quite creative. So some of these fragrances, personally, I find to be really creative. And a lot of them here, you don't really see clones of. It's like they're really original in my opinion, or maybe that's the way I view them. This is one that took me some time, but guys, eventually I fell in love with this fragrance and I've been enjoying this one. I mean, this is not the easiest fragrance to pull off. Personally, I still struggle to find the right time to wear this fragrance. But yeah, it's one of those fragrances that I really enjoy, and that's why it's on my list, guys. Guys, that's King Blue by Amouage, another 10 out of 10 masterpiece fragrance, and we move on to the next one. So the next fragrance on my list is one that I discovered recently, and this is none other than Green Sapphire here by Boudicca de Victorious. Yes, this is a fragrance I've known for a while, but this one just joined the collection recently, I would say about a couple months ago. And yeah, boy, what a masterpiece. I have a full review of this one on the channel, so you can check out my full thoughts on this fragrance. I personally haven't smelled anything like this before, and when I got this fragrance, I was so excited, guys. And yes, this one smells like money. That's how I like to interpret this fragrance. I think this one smells like wealth. I think this one smells like money. And that's if there's a thing like that. But yeah, there's some scent I personally associate with money. There's some scent I personally associate with wealth. And I'm not sure if it's just me. So let me know in the comments if you do that as well. Green Sapphire here is a rich saffron heavy fragrance. I get a lot of saffron in this one. I also get some oud from this fragrance. There's also that cedar, which gives that dark, woody accord to this fragrance. There's some fruity qualities as well with this one. But the saffron in here goes in a leathery direction, and that's what I really enjoy about this fragrance. This has leathery qualities. This has musky qualities. This one has a woody quality as well, and it's just a beautiful 10 out of 10 masterpiece in my opinion. And Green Sapphire leans more masculine, and I think this would be a great fragrance to wear in the fall or even the winter time. And the performance on this one is big. And from wearing this fragrance, I can tell you guys, this is a beast mode fragrance. 2 to 3 sprays will do the job, guys. And with this one, I highly recommend you go easy with the trigger here. People will notice what you're wearing, and people will possibly give you a compliment because this one also has that compliment factor. It's a great fragrance in my opinion, but one thing about this one is the price point, guys. This is a really expensive fragrance, so I highly recommend that you get a sample or even go into the store and try before you buy. And as a fragrance lover, this is one fragrance I highly recommend you try or at least sample once throughout your journey. It's really good, guys. So the last but not the least fragrance on my list today is from the house of Roja, and this is Roja Enigma. Yes, Roja Enigma is one that's really popular. And yes, this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece in my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me. And what we have here is a warm, spicy vanilla fragrance that's boozy with some tobacco, some patchouli, and some benzoin. There's a lot more going in here, but guys, what we have here is a masterpiece. And the scent profile here is really unique and popular because of that comparison with Coca-Cola. And yes, I get that from this fragrance, and I'm such a huge fan of this fragrance. And I'm not sure if you look to the back here, you can find the Parfum Cologne version of this fragrance because I own that one as well. This scent profile is one of my favorite scent profiles, and this one is a beast of a fragrance. And the performance on this one is obviously better than the Parfum Cologne version, which I also own. But yeah, this scent profile just works, guys. Great stuff in my opinion. Great release by the house of Roja, and this one I consider to be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It's definitely one of my favorite from the brand. So in the comments below, guys, let me know if you want me to do a video on Roja Parfum fragrances because I have a few of them and I think I might be able to do something for you guys. So yes, Roja Parfum's Enigma here is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and that's why it's on my list, guys. So let me know if you've tried Enigma here, and let me know what you think of this one in the comments below. So guys, there you have it. This was 7 fragrances that I personally consider to be 10 out of 10s. Let me know what you think about this list. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances, and let me know if you'd like me to review any of these fragrances in the comments below. I'm gonna keep it moving, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. And until then, please stay safe and bye-bye.